We got up early and headed to Milson's Point Wharf on the ferry to go to our viewing area for the New Year's Eve fireworks at Bradfield Park. We got there early, bought some camping chairs which were $20 each, and waited until the park opened up. We waited quite a while, and unfortunately towards the end the queue wasn't very well managed, which resulted in a lot of people losing places or having people cut in front of them. Luckily we weren't affected by this too much and managed to get into the limited ticket area in Mary Booth Reserve, which required a separate wristband for the first 3,000 people. We managed to get a really good spot in the park and would definitely recommend either bringing or buying a chair early in the day, as there is a lot of time spent waiting for either access into the viewing area or for the fireworks themselves. We didn't realise before we came, but Sydney actually has two sets of fireworks. One early set, mainly for families with young children, which is at 9 PM, and then the main midnight fireworks. Once we had seen the first set of fireworks, the night flew by, and before we knew it, we were counting down for the new year. Right, so since we've now experienced seeing fireworks in Sydney, we thought we'd share some information and a few tips about what the day is like, at least what it was like for us, and maybe what you could do better if you went yourself. The first thing is to make sure that you book the tickets for the viewing areas quite far in advance. We got quite lucky in that I'd put us down on a waiting list for our area maybe like a month before New Year's Eve, and then a couple of weeks before we actually got the tickets. So just make sure you know that basically everywhere in Sydney you have to have a ticket to view the fireworks. Another thing to make sure is that you check the viewing point and check reviews and check you know exactly what view you're getting. There's tons of options out there, and you just need to know if you want a view of the bridge, you need to make sure. If you want a view of the Opera House, you need to make sure you'll see it. Where we were was at Bradfield Park, and that has 3,000 tickets to the extra part that we were in that you have to get a wristband after that to have access to, and that's just first come first served, but that view gives you both the Opera House and the bridge. I know there's other options out there, you'd have to double check, but just make sure when you're looking at all the locations that you know exactly what you'll see and what you won't see.
So the next tip we'll give you is basically be prepared to spend the whole day queuing. I think we joined, when did we join?
About 12, I think.
About 12 o'clock, and that was, you know, just the day. So basically the day's a write-off, you just spend time queuing, so just be prepared for that.
So the next thing is basically everyone in the queue and everyone in the viewing area is desperate to have the best view. So just make sure that you're prepared to keep your spot both in the line, and when you get to the viewing area, people will try and cut in front, try and push in front, try and sneak in front. You know, if you leave a gap, they'll take it. So, you know, as much as you want to enjoy the day, just be mindful that, you know, everyone else is trying to get in front of you at some point.
Another thing is just to plan your food. You know, we went to a supermarket nearby and bought some snacks and drinks, just to try and fill the time. Obviously you're there for a long time, and just check what the area that you've chosen, what food they served, and you know, be prepared to stand in the queue and possibly not have a proper meal, more like snack food.
Next thing is, if the viewing area is anything like ours, they'll all be portaloos, so if you need the toilet, just try and use it earlier in the evening, or you know, as soon as you get your spot. Me and Meg, we just basically got our spot and then took turns going to the loo, and then, you know, as you can imagine, further through the night, portaloos, thousands of people, they just get worse and worse, and you know, after midnight I'd just say it was a write-off and just try and wait till you're back at your accommodation.
You might also want to bring a radio with you or a speaker to play the music that goes along with the fireworks. The area we chose didn't actually play the music, so it was just, you know, the sound of fireworks, but might be nice if you just have the music to go along with it.
This one's kind of similar before, but specific to after you've got into your viewing location, so, you know, just make sure that when you've got your spot, try and make it as close to sort of a wall or anything, you know, that people can't get in front of. Especially when it hits midnight, people will just stand up and try and, you know, move in, obstruct your view. We had it on the right hand side, so our view to the bridge was, you know, obstructed a bit by people, but we didn't want to actually stand as well because there was people behind us sitting, and then, you know, people behind them as well. So you just want to be mindful of that, and also, you know, don't become part of the problem. Everyone's there to see the same thing, and you know, if everyone's sat down, everyone can see it fine, and you know, just don't get carried away.
So the last tip we have is, if you've got the money to spend, I think it's worth booking, you know, a river cruise or a dining package. Seems like a lot of money at the time, but you just get an unbeatable view, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, we saw boats out there, and you know, we could only imagine what they could see. I mean, our spot was a good one, you saw a lot of it, but you know, if you've got the money, you also don't have the hassle of, you know, waiting in the queues, waiting, you know, worrying about people cutting in front of you.
Yeah, you don't waste half your day to just trying to get a spot. You know it's there. You've got your own space there. You're not crammed in with everybody.
Yeah, I think especially if you're only gonna, you know, do it as a once in a lifetime thing, you know.
Yeah.
If you've got the money, I mean, obviously we didn't, so we haven't looked into it, so you'd have to look into it yourself. But I think for the amount of ease and the sort of lack of worry and everything else, it would be definitely worth a consideration.
Yeah.
So those were the main points that we could think of our experience seeing the fireworks in Sydney. We hope they're useful, and you know, if you want to plan your trip, you know, just be mindful of all the things we said, really, you know. And once again, we'd recommend looking at other options that, you know, would shorten the amount of time you'd have to queue. So whether that be a cruise or a dining package, but you have to look at it yourself. We're not really up on the information for that. But thanks for watching, and if you made it this far, you know, please share, like, subscribe, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one.